The Oklahoma Sooners and Todd Bates gets a massive transfer from TCU as far as defensive tackles are concerned. So we're going to talk about that and more on this episode of Sooner Legends Podcast. Well, welcome to this episode of Sooner Legends Podcast. I'm your host, Mike the Legend. And if you're new to the channel, jump down and hit that red subscriber button. Turn on your post notification bells. That way you won't miss any breaking news like this as it comes available. And also, can I get you to give me a like? And also, please comment because it's little things like that that help small content creators like myself push the algorithm of YouTube. And could you please share the video? Well, as I stated at the beginning of the video, Todd Bates and the Oklahoma Sooners got a massive win last night in the transfer portal with Dominic Williams. Uh, he's transferring to us from TCU, and this right now, this has pushed OU to probably being elite. Dominic, who is 6'2", 320-ish, 325-ish defensive tackle from Mission Hills, California, who played at Bishop Alamany. He was a 3-star recruit coming to TCU. He is now a 4-star in according to 247, and he's going to add some experience and depth to that defensive line. Now you've already got G Baby, R Mason Thomas, Ethan Downs, those guys, Dejon Terry, Trace Ford. This is going to bring a different level because if y'all watched him for the past 2 years, this guy is good. He comes off his blocks good. He causes hate and discontent in the backfield. He has a high motor, low in his pad level. He's got everything you want and then some out of a defensive tackle. That, and he's a big body. So now that puts us with 4 or 5 guys on the defensive line that's over the 300-pound mark, which trenches is where the games are won and lost, whether it be offensive or defensive. Now, what this addition to Dominic is going to give us is it's going to give us some extra bulk and experience up there on that defensive line. And people has been saying, is OU SEC ready? Well, this right here shows that we are SEC ready with this young man. And his while he was at TCU, he played in every snap, never missed a game, and he totaled 60 tackles, 9.5 TFLs, 4.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. That's production, guys. That is production. If y'all remember in our first season in 2022, his name was mentioned a couple of times in that game where we got obliterated. And his name was mentioned last year when we played him in Norman. So he elite, yeah, he's elite. He's what we want. And if you read the tea leaves during this whole Dominic Williams thing, he made officials to official visits to LSU, Missouri, and Texas. But where did he spend the longest at? Was it Oklahoma during the spring game? And from what I've heard from other sources, we had him, but he wanted to. he wanted to go make his other bits before he totally committed. And I appreciate that tremendously. And like I said, this is this is going to bring us to the elite level of the SEC, and that's going to take the pressure off our new guys such as David Stone, Jaden Jackson, Nigel Smith II, and Danny Okoye. And these guys they'll be in the rotation, but that they don't have to carry the burden now of of for the lack of experience that we were lacking until we picked up Dominic with other than Ethan Downs, DeJounte, and Trace Ford and G Baby. But with that being said, that just solidified it, and these guys can develop the new guys, and they can and they can be in the rotations on our defensive line play this year, and that's just going to make it that much more better. And people was wondering if it would cause any not I'm just going to say disconcern for the new guys with Dominic coming in. No, David Stone already tweeted out last night, let's get to work. So he's already welcome in the locker room. And that brings me to another point in his tweet, what he tweeted. Y'all read the tweets. Jay had a video out on it last night. He mentioned it, a couple others. He chose this university for BV, Coach Bates, and the culture that they have built at this university. And one thing that stood out to me about the tweet, it said he's blue collar and he's ready to get to work, and he's going to give Sooner Nation the best version of him. Now we can sit there and say, "Oh, you dropped the bag," and all this, that, and the other. We can probably did. I wasn't there, so I'm not going to make any speculations. But by his tweet, it wasn't about the bag. It was about the culture that BV has established here at OU that he always talks about in his press conferences. Now, for all you other Debbie Downers, what do you think about Todd Bates now? Y'all was saying all last year he couldn't recruit. He couldn't recruit. We don't need. How about now? Bates is showing us why he was the elite recruiter at Clemson. Hell, Bates made Recruiter of the Year 1 or 2 times while he was there. But because us as Sooner fans, we want our cake and eat it too, and to have it right now, we didn't see the forest through the trees with Bates. I did. I wasn't worried about Bates at all because I knew what kind of recruiter and what kind of assistant coach he was, along with BV at Clemson. Go back and look at their 3rd year when BV got there. That tells you all you need to know. Look at the recruits that BV and Bates put in the league. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, guys. So I'm happy for this recruit. I'm happy for this big fish. We got him landed. We reeled him in. Y'all hop down in the comments. Y'all tell me what you think about Mr. Williams and how this is going to set up our defensive line going into the SEC. Y'all take care of yourself. God bless you. Don't say nothing you can't take back because you'll live to regret it. This is the legend. We'll see you on the backside. Boomer Sooner.